And we're rolling.
Okay, Bayloric TV has Francis Warren. Good afternoon, Francis. How you doing? So we're here at the press conference with Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank Jr., who didn't turn up.
No, well, it's not the press conference for those two guys specifically. It's,
right.
You know, it's a press conference to talk about the undercard for Fury and Chisora, on which Billy Joe and Chris Eubank Jr. are on. Billy Joe fighting for the European title against Wladmir. Some, you know, good stuff coming out from Billy Joe today, but yeah, as you said, Chris Eubank Jr. didn't turn up. But
let's get. I
think we should focus on who did turn up.
Let's get straight to it. Really, people wanted to see Eubank Jr. and Billy Joe Saunders together.
I don't know why.
Well, when you're saying that your dad would beat you with a chain if you got lost, you know, I mean, let's take you back as well. I spoke to Frank Cullen about this. When Nigel Benn fought Chris Eubank, people said, "Oh, Chris Eubank, he ain't the real McCoy. He never been really hitting the chin." Blah 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 blah. And then what happens is Nigel Benn, the favourite, gets done by Chris Eubank. Turns the boxing world on its head. The potential of Eubank Jr. and Billy Saunders, could that similar thing happen, or is Eubank Jr. a lot of hype?
No, I think, you know, Chris has got a lot of talent. I don't think we've seen all of it yet, but you know, Billy Joe Saunders is the real deal. So you know, it's a lot of ifs and buts at the moment. You know, I think it's a fight that I know I'd love to see. I know the public would love to see. So you know, let's just keep them both plugging along, and you know, doing what they're doing at the moment, and see how they go in the future.
So you hear a lot from, especially his father, and you can't really take that as a reliable source because he's your father. So your father would boost you up. However, a lot of things Chris Eubank does say does hold some truth to it. So now, when you look at this situation and hearing the sparring reports, you as a promoter, manager, do you keep your ear to the ground? Do you hear what's going on? Do you say, "Oh, well, you know, that's a load of rubbish," or, you know, he got dropped in sparring, or what are you hearing?
You hear all sorts of stuff about the sparring. You know, I suppose it's one of those. You know, I think it's a respect thing as well. You know, you don't really hear the fighters talking too much about the sparring. You know, every now and again a video might get leaked or something like that. You know, I think, you know, until they get in the ring and actually, you know, and see what they're made of in front of all the fans, in front of the TV cameras. You know, that's where it matters. You know, the sparring can be sometimes a false indicator. As to, you know, some guys might not go whole hog. So you might be, you know, nulling goes into a false sense of security. You never know. But for me, it's in the ring, and that's it.
Right. I've got to take you back again. Eubank Jr., Carl Froch were sparring. In the sparring session,
These are all ifs and buts. Listen,
I'm not going to ask you.
These are all ifs and buts and all the bits and pieces that, you know, that go along with that. And it's, you know, so something, you know, a lot of it's a lot of hype. You know, if we're led to believe, then Chris had a fantastic time up in with Carl, but then Carl produces what he produces on Saturday night. So you know, Chris obviously did Carl a favour and prepared him quite well. So put it that way.
Okay, next week's fight, Chisora Fury. The first fight, as we know, Fury won the fight. Chisora's not in shape. Two different fighters now. See, Tyson Fury now has got Peter Fury. He's put some good performances. Chisora now has come back, put on some great performances himself. You know, he seems to have got his life together now as a fighter. He seems, you know, the complete package. Why couldn't both guys have gone separate directions and gone, like, say, you know, Chisora gone one way for a world title shot and Fury gone one way for a title shot, and then to get put them together to fight at the end?
I think it's been, you know, it's a natural progression. I think, especially because they had their first fight. Which is, you know, Dereck was desperate for the rematch and wanted to put the record straight. And maybe Tyson, because he knew that Dereck wasn't at his best. So I thought, well, let Dereck get to his best, and then I'll beat him again. So you've got both guys who've got a lot of different things to prove. You know, my dad's just said in there that you know, he thinks it's the biggest, you know, one of the biggest fights in heavyweight boxing. And I agree with him. I think, you know, if the fight's there to be made, then listen, it's hard enough work getting fights made these days. You don't want to be keeping guys apart that want to fight, keeping them apart ever. So you know, I think, you know, and the winner gets a shot at the world title against the WBO champion and Wladmir Klitschko. So
okay, now I know you say that. I know you say, well, you know, that fight's going to happen. Is it really going to happen? Are we really going to see Fury or Chisora in the ring against Wladmir Klitschko?
Well, it won't be because one of our guys doesn't want it.
Well, he pulled it against Chisora twice, Wladmir Klitschko. We know this.
Once.
Was it once?
Once. Well, go on there twice.
Pulled that twice. Emanuel Steward, you know, rest in peace, said from what I heard from sources, he did not want Wladmir Klitschko to fight Dereck Chisora.
No, I mean, you can't. God rest his soul, man. I had a conversation with Emanuel Steward in Puerto Rico at the WBO convention.
Right.
And that conversation categorically happened. You know, he said to me, Wladmir didn't want to fight Dereck.
So you heard that.
So,
you heard that.
At the end of the day, that was it.
All those people out there that say Bayloric TV are talking nonsense, you heard it there from Francis Warren. Right. So, final question. Obviously, with Eubank Senior and Eubank Junior, we now have Francis Warren and Frank Warren. How would you fit in the mix while Frank decides to take his back seat? Will you be taking the front seat?
I don't think he'll ever take a back seat. No, I mean, you know, I've been in the business now for about 10 years or so.
Right.
You know, I think I started off doing bits and pieces with the press and running, marketing accounts, and I just sort of, developed through to it. Run a couple of shows. Right. I've got a few interesting things that will be happening in the new season for myself personally. Right. But I'm fully involved with Queensbury Promotions and Box Nation. Right. So it's a family affair.
Obviously, it's a family affair. Is it something you see yourself being that known as the top promoter in the country? The next generation, Generation X, whatever you want to call it.
See how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Francis Warren, always a pleasure talking to you.
Cheers, mate.
Bayloric TV with Francis Warren. We're out.
Top man.